Hey. Anyway, it's me again. And I finished the book, all 17 plus hours. Yeah, of Leslie Johnson's book. And don't mind how I'm dressed. Like, don't even, like, girl, you look, you're in the trenches. Like, just mind your business. It's not the point of this video. My outfit's not the point. Anyway, so I got the privilege to read Leslie Jones's new book. New meaning within, like, the past year, She published it, and there were just so many laughs that I had from that book. I genuinely thought the entire time, I'm looking at my notes, that I was talking to my aunt or my mom, because you kind of get shocked at what gets shared, or even like thinking about the conversations I have with my sister. Like, at moments you can get like empowered from what's being shared, or you just get sad because it's just like you went through that, and we get to like just follow her life journey, like between her being a comedian, a comic, and the politics of the practice, but also like things that she took time to learn being there. I think one thing that showed up over and over again is she always was saying, like, get to know your parents. You have to appreciate folks while you got them. You gotta let them know, that kind of thing, while they're here. And I feel like I'm like definitely, even with my friends, I'm in my gratitude bag. Like, I just let people know, like, offhand, like, oh, thank you for this, thank you for that. And then, like, I know some people get like weirded out, like, oh, you don't need to thank me, like, and I was like, I don't think we say thank you enough. Like, I really don't. I don't think we say thank you and acknowledge people enough when they've shown up for us. Like, I don't think there's such thing as too much when you're doing that and acknowledging like the way someone's shown up for you, or the way someone taught you something, or like I don't think there ever could really be too much. I think it was really comforting, in fact, to even have her discuss being just in silence in depression, because I feel like it's not talked about. I feel like a lot around, especially with Black women, or how that even happens. And I think one thing I thought was really critical is like when she says that, because I didn't write it in my notes, that I'm looking at it, but there's a lot to be learned in those seasons where you're just quiet into yourself, but also forced to be to yourself, type of thing. What I mean by that is, like, she had just a lot of different moments where she just was alone. Like, not lonely, just alone. Like, it's not necessarily like, oh, I don't have anybody to talk to about this. It was more like, oh, there's these specific set of circumstances, and anybody in my shoes, they might say this, that, and the third. And I think a lot of times, even now, right, because you have people that are coaches, and you have like social media, and like media in general, that tries to keep you informed about different things, or like keep your awareness on certain things and what certain things should mean and could mean and do mean. And so I think she was just very much like, I think from her perspective, it was just like not getting too down and out and focused and paying attention, because she was like, like, her point was like, depression is very real. Like, and like, I agree. Her point was that, especially if, as much as it depends on you, don't stay and sit in your, what you think is your situation, or the circumstances at hand. because everything's subject to change. And paying attention to like just enjoying what you can and being content. And yeah, I really love that she shared that. Another thing, I love that she shared that you learn a lot by just hushing, listening, and paying attention. I feel like that's just been I've been on, but just in general, I think if you were to pull another thing from that book, it'd be that, because I feel like, again, we live in a time where it's like media and everyone, even maybe your family or like whatever things that were taught to you, it might be influencing the decisions you're making now, or the thoughts ooh, or the thoughts you're having. Someone tried to come through. That's or the thoughts you're having, because the way that like especially right now, like for example, like I feel like I've been reading this book Powernomics, and I'm definitely gonna review that one because that's crazy work. Powernomics was supposed to be this economic plan for Black America, enacted by 2005. We in 2025, baby. Two decades later. So anyway, one of his points that he gets into is a lot of times Black kids are told to like get a good job, go to a good school, like make good on things, you feel me? And so very rarely are we told to like make the jobs and make the curriculum and things like that. Very rarely are we setting aside time to, instead of join the rat race and cogs in the machine, like develop our own machines and our own that speak to our rhythms. Hopefully you followed me. So I feel like the whole paying attention and hushing and listening is also just using the seasons that you're given to do what you can to just put God first. That's it. That's all I want to say about that. Okay. And I love that she had talked about that too, like her relationship with God and how everybody's relationship is different. I think that's super important, but to have one, you know. Another thing was so crazy, not crazy, but she had talked about a lot of people treat you the way that they treated you in private, and I was just like, write that down. And I think that resonated because, for example, like, actually I won't give you an example. It just know that it resonated. A lot of folks treat you how they treat you in private, and it's not about you, and I'll get to that next. Another thing that she talked about was it's your responsibility to stay focused, be a good steward of yourself, and live with integrity. Like, you know, you're not supposed to be doing that. Like, she talks about in her book how there were some things that she knew she wasn't supposed to be doing, and it caught up to her, and she talks about it catching up to her. And like, I think she also talked about distractions and like things, like there would be so many things, and that's just, you know, that's life, right? There's so many things outside of our control. And she was just like, it's your responsibility to stay focused. It's your responsibility. And you know, I didn't write this down actually, but being a good steward of yourself and living with integrity, it also points to something that she talked about. There was, in her book, there was like a situation where she gets in trouble and the other girl doesn't, that she works with, because they just about fight outside, right? And management is just like, we're gonna have to let you go. And she's just like, well, what about the other girl? And he's just like, well, and she's like, what about the other girl? Like, not letting the manager get a word in. And he's just like, he ends up raising his voice in a way that he never really does. And he's just like, we don't expect that of you. We expect everybody else to act like that, not you. And I thought about how unfair that can be. And she wrote about that. She was just like, dear diary. Like, I'm just kidding. But she tells us in the book, like, she was just like, it was so unfair. And I definitely, again, it just resonated with me. There's ways you want to react. You want to turn up. You want to pop up. You want to behave a certain kind of way, but you know better. And you absolutely know better, especially when it comes to people that might have hurt you, or even if they didn't, just did you wrong, just mistreated you. I say just mistreated, like people, because people do more, as you know, than put your hands on you. So anyway, one thing I like that she talks about as well is, she's just like, because she played basketball, she was like, slap this ball of life together and put your elbows up. And if you don't know what that looks like, it looks like this. Played basketball for a little bit. It's like, I don't really have a ball, but we're gonna use my vitamins. As soon as you have the, and that's just to say, like, if the ball is life, if the ball is there, and that's like, you need to be, this is your life, this one, these here, defend, protect. We're on the offense, we're on the defense. Well, you might not be on the defense, but listen, I mean, if you take it back from the enemy, the team, you know, what's it called, a turnover? So yeah, that just resonated with me, because it's like, you really, like, it's not just you protecting your peace in this life, it's your faith, it's your love, it's your joy, because it's just like oh, let me give you some. So there's a part in the Bible where Jesus is with his disciples, and they've been preaching to people, and one day they're in the ship. The ship, the sea is at war. The storms are going, and Jesus goes, like, Jesus is asleep. Actually, he doesn't say nothing. He's asleep. He's knocked out. He's in the bottom bunk, and then people come rushing to him because they're like, the water is coming into the boat. Like, oh my gosh, scary. And Jesus is just like, where has your faith gone? Man, let me see if I just read it for y'all. So I'm gonna read out of Matthew 8. Start at verse 23. As he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. Suddenly a violent storm arose on the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by the waves, but Jesus kept sleeping. So the disciples came and woke him up, saying, Lord, save us, we're going to die. He said to them, why are you afraid, you of little faith? Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. I feel like, why are you afraid, you of little faith? And because the thing is, y'all have faith. If I'm asleep, why are y'all distraught? Like, I gave you faith, or I'm still here. Make it make sense. Forgot where I was going with that, but hope you got it. I need to wrap this up. One thing I love is just how much the way that she just drops different jewels of encouragement throughout her text. Like, this is a book that I low-key just want to go back to and listen. For example, she mentions you're a big force in energy and you command rooms. They expect you to be, and this is kind of like when I was telling you, like, oh, it's not fair that they expect so much. And at the same time, it's just like all of who you are is more. There's no one else. There's no one else. I know you feel alone, but none of this is gonna last. You will become everything, everyone, every absolute thing in being that he's called you to be. And it's just like you can either fight it and whine or like just this is we gonna enjoy the process, you know? Another thing she was talking about was like the way that you talk about freedom, but do you really have it? Everything shows who you are, down to how you fold your clothes and keep yourself. And she was just saying, celebrate the grocery shopping and the cooking and cleaning. I think it was like, and I could have mixed her up with somebody, but I don't think so. I think she was just trying to reference, like, just, again, almost the living with integrity. Like, there's so much that we pray for, and, like, I know some people, they just kind of, I say some people, a lot of the wealthiest people, they just keep wanting more and more, right? That's why they got the billions and trying to become the trillions. Like, there's so much ingratiated and appreciating, like, who you are and moving in your life that same way, knowing who you are, that kind of thing. And another thing she points out, along with knowing who you are, folks be jealous. Don't take it personal. Don't take none of this serious. Don't let none of this bother you. Parades don't stop for barking dogs. People actually try and test you. And I think I ended up writing "The path is narrow, bear witness to yourself" for this section. Because I think it reminds me of me starting grad school. My mentor, Lord knows where she is right now, you know. But she, at the time, she was in mechanical engineering and she was about to leave and I was on the way in. And she was just like, don't take none of this too seriously. None of it. And I try to remember, like, sometimes I remember, I think it was last year, the year before. I think it was the beginning of last year. I was starting to take it seriously, and I think something happened, and I was like, yeah, pin drop, whatever. Not serious people. Like, that's no reflection of them completely. It's more like just the situation I had and everything at large. Like, I brought you here and you finna leave with him, so that, and like, I'm looking at this, the parades don't stop for barking dogs. Like, I feel like some people, they outwardly hate on you, and then some people are more like quiet about it. Quiet, whatever that means. Bitches no praise, don't stop for barking dogs. Keep it pushing. The fanfare gonna fanfare. You got candy to throw, okay? Okay, we got joy to spread, love to be. So that was just a great reminder. And then finally, I think this was really cool. It was like some of her final notes. You're supposed to like yourself. A lot of folk didn't use the pandemic to do that work, and it shows. Stick and stay through the pain. Everybody's living the same way. It's exactly what you make it. Don't be afraid to face the scary things anyways. You're not inventing the wheel. Don't be conceited. Be convinced about yourself. You're your best friend. Fight and show up for you. Know and respect you. And that's when you step into being undeniable. Excuse me. And like one thing she had said about fighting and showing up for you in linkage with being your best friend, she was talking about learning to enjoy her company and learning to be at peace with herself, but also when she was talking about show up for you, fight and show up for you, she was talking about like not allowing certain things and leaving certain things, stepping back. The way I can fall back, I'll fall back sometimes. Because a lot of times we both need it and we deserve it. Like, there's a lot of times where things aren't reciprocal. You might be moving intentional and someone else isn't, or you're giving a lot more than you're getting, like, and it's just like, and you're like, wait, like, I'm tired. Yeah. Anyway, phenomenal book. Highly recommend that you read it, because I had nearly as much things for you to laugh at as she did. Well, so cool. Stay dangerous. Love you. Okay, bye.